Welcome to Sunday Stock Talk with Rich. Thank you for joining me today. So I see we have 15 people in the chat. That is awesome. I'm so excited to have you guys here today. I'm going to be adding value. I'm going to be trying to help you achieve your financial dreams and your financial goals. All right. So what I'm going to do, I just want to make sure that we have audio. So let me just check this out. Make sure that we have audio, and then we're going to get this party started. So if you guys can hear me, please just let me know in the chat, and we'll get rolling. So let me say, can you hear me? I don't think the YouTube went live right as of yet, but let's see. One sec, guys. Hopefully we don't have any technical difficulties today. It says May 23rd at 9 p.m. Yeah. Don't know why it's not playing yet. Okay. Hold on. Oh, you guys can hear me? Okay. Sorry, it's not popping up on my phone. Anyways, all right. If you guys can hear me, that's all good. That's all we care about. All right. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna start off with the process that we need to do every single week. So the process that we need to do every single week is we need to look at futures. So the futures market, for those of you who don't know what it is, the futures market is basically the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, all the big indexes. There's future contracts for those indexes. And those future contracts trade around the clock, basically. So there's only a break during the day from about 5 to 6 p.m. And there's also a break on Friday to Sunday at 6 p.m. So from Sunday at 6 p.m., the futures market open again, and we can start to get some idea of where the market could be heading for this week. Okay? So that's the whole point of looking at futures, is you want to look at futures in order to determine where we are and what's likely to happen this upcoming week. Okay, so I'm going to start off. Ricardo, welcome. Tony, welcome. I'm going to start off by drawing the levels. We're going to draw them together. We're going to go through the process together, and we're going to do everything together today. And what I want you guys to do is comment in the chat where you are viewing from right now. I want to know where you guys are at, so I can better understand how to time these videos. Like if you guys are on the West Coast, on the East Coast, whatever, if you guys are in a different country, I want to know. All right. So we're going to start off with the analysis we did last week. And then we're going to talk about how those trades went. And then we're going to talk about this week. So Jim, welcome. Support engineer, welcome. All right. So last week, okay. So let's get rid of the Fibonacci and let's talk about last week. Okay. So last week we were here, okay? We didn't see this inside bar yet. We didn't know that the week was going to form an inside bar, right? Instead, we had a big, long wick hammer candle. So what I did last week is I drew the high and the low of the range. So I go to the hourly chart, okay? So here is the high and the low of the range. So what I said, guys, was depending on where we open, that is going to determine what's likely to happen. Okay, so let's think about this. Okay, let's think about this for a second. So we opened on Sunday. So what was Sunday's date? Sunday's date was the 16th. Okay, so we opened on the 16th at 6 p.m. So let's go there. So here's the 16th at 6 p.m. Okay, so this was right here at 6 p.m. So the first trade setup that I talked about last week was just taking this inside bar. You see this inside bar right here? Just taking this inside bar short. Just taking that inside bar down, guys. That would have been an amazing trade. Let's see. Taking that down, that's, you know, a 30-point trade on one contract. That's $1,500. Okay, if you had the balls to hold it all the way down here, that's over 100-point gain that we talked about last week. And we're just using simple analysis, using the inside bars, using the fibs. Okay, so back to my point here. So we can see on the 16th of May, we opened actually in the middle of the range. Okay, so here's where we opened. Here's last week's range. We opened in the middle of the range. And one of the tools, one of the process that I have is if we open in the middle of the range, then I'm expecting for the high and the low to not be broken. Okay, I'm expecting it to not be broken right away, that it's going to be whipsaw, it's going to be range bound, it's going to be back and forth. And as you can see, if we look at the price action last week, look at this, guys. We double topped here, we came back down, we popped back up, and we pretty much finished where we opened. And this is what I mean by when we have an inside open in the previous week's range, we're likely to stay trapped within the range. Okay, and then like my friend up here, Phil, so he said right here in last week's stock talk, you mentioned stocks looking to be range bound. By Tuesday, it was still looking true, so open an iron condor using the weekly SPY. Paid for a nice date with my wife yesterday. She says thanks. Awesome. So that's what I'm trying to do, guys. So what do we want to do? If we know that the market is opening within the last week's range and it's going to be range bound, it's going to be choppy, then what are we going to do? We're going to draw the Fibonacci. Okay, so here we go. The first major Fibonacci on the week, we take it from last week's low, we pull it up to the high like this, and then look at this, okay? Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful bounce from the 786. Absolutely beautiful. From the 786, we take this bad boy up here. That's over 100 points. That's 120 points at the peak, okay? So this is what I mean. When we are coming down, everyone up here is shorting. When we get down here is when the rookies are shorting because they think that the market is going to crash. But the professionals are coming in and we are buying the dip because we know that this is a range-bound environment and the market is likely to reverse at the Fibonacci level. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. Even if you didn't take this fib, right? Let's do what was next? We had smaller fibs. These are the micro fibs. So look at this one right here. Okay. Right here to the 50. And then if we pull it all the way over, another one at the 50. So there were so many opportunities to get into this trade, but you have to understand the context. Okay. The context is the most important thing. All right. So we're going to draw the weekly range for this week, and we're going to talk about what we're going to expect right now. If you guys have any questions about what I talked about range bound, then please post them in the chat right now. So let's see what we have going on here. So we have Jim from Toronto. Welcome, Jim. I'm originally from Toronto. Awesome to have you here. Ricardo is CST. I know Ricardo is in Houston, I believe, or Texas, somewhere in Texas. So welcome. Fancy Mr. Fox, Mountain Time. Bill, Central New York, awesome. Tony, Georgia. Bridget, Michigan, awesome. We have another. Fancy Fox is Canadian. I have a lot of Canadians. I'm a Canadian as well, but I've been working in the States for the past 2 years right now. So we have Blues Rock Addict, my good friend here. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining. He's always here. I appreciate Blues Rock Addict a lot. Support Engineer, Austin, Texas, beautiful. Mexico, my friend here from Mexico. Jay Clark, Richmond, beautiful. And then we have Chicago, San Francisco. Okay, beautiful. Thank you. All right. So now let's talk about this week. Okay. So what are we expecting this week? So here was the range from last week. What I'm going to do here now, and what you guys need to do every single week, just promise me you're going to do this, is draw the weekly range. Whether you're trading stocks, whether you're trading futures, whether you're trading options, I don't care. Whatever instrument you're trading, draw the weekly range. You're going to be so surprised of how these weekly levels can give you an edge in trading, okay? So what I'm going to do is, because last week was an inside week, okay? Last week was an inside week. Look right here. See, inside bar indicator alert. This is a free indicator in Tradingview that automatically finds the inside bars, and it puts this arrow for me right here. So I know that it's inside, okay? So last week, I said, here's the range. We opened inside. And as you can see, guys, we did not break out of the range at all. We stayed inside. And this is what forms an inside bar. All right. So what we're going to do here now is I want to take another color and I'm going to draw the range of the inside bar. Okay. So let's go high. So this is what you guys need to do. So first of all, let's take, what do we like here? Let's go with purple. No. Let's go with red. Okay. So we're going to look at the high, right here. The high is 41.85. So it shows right there. So I'm going to double click on this and I'm going to type in 41.85 because I want the levels to be precise. Okay. When I'm drawing the fibs, I want the levels to be precise. All right. So then if we go low here, we have 40.55.75. So we're going to take this bad boy down here, right? Like that. I'm going to double click 40.55.75. Okay. So now let's go to the hourly chart. Now let's see how this looks. All right. So zoom out. Beautiful. Okay, now look how much information we have. Okay, let's look at the information we have. Okay, so we had the week before last week, so 2 weeks ago, this was the bigger range. Then last week we traded in a tighter range. See, here's the range. It's in red here, this zone. So from 40.55 to 41.85. And now where are we? Right now we opened at 6 o'clock. We opened right here in the range still. We're in the range, right? And now we're actually up against the top of the range. So what can we expect here? Well, we can expect that at some point this week, we're going to retest this area up here. And if the bulls are strong, we're going to break through this inside range. Okay. So if we go back to the weekly chart right here like this, if we go to the weekly chart, what we can see is we have an inside bar. If we look at the previous inside bars on the chart, just look at these. Sorry for all the notes there, but just look at these previous inside bars. If you notice for the whole year, okay, for the S&P 500, for the whole year, we did not have one double inside bar. So what that means is this range is likely to break this week. Okay, I'm not saying it's 100% going to break, but it's likely. And that's what we do as traders is we make decisions based on likelihood. Okay? We do not predict, we make decisions based on likelihood. Okay, so Alex says the magnet. Yes, I remember I used to use the magnet before and I just forgot about it because I've been just manually doing it for a long time now. But yes, click on this magnet here. And then like, even if we draw the fib now, let me try that. It's like that, bam. You see, like it's pulling it to the next closest one. So sometimes I have trouble with it. Like, I think that's why I took it off actually. But anyways, yeah. So the magnet is also good to use. Maybe there's some option here. Weak magnet, strong magnet. Okay. Anyways, I'll test that out after. Okay. So what we're expecting this week is that this range is going to break at some point. Okay. And with this range being broken, if the bulls can take up this break above this high, we can definitely try to squeeze and retest the all-time highs. Okay. The biggest bearish case is if we actually turn around and break this low. If we turn around and break this low, we can clearly see here we had 1 week, 2 weeks of bullish buyers. And if we break this low, their stop losses are in danger of getting stop run. And because of that, this could actually be a turning point in the market for some more selling. All right. That makes sense, guys? So let me know if you guys understand that. If there's any questions, feel free to share in the chat. We're all here to help each other out. But this is very important. This should be a part of your process every single week. Draw the range. And then from the range, figure out what's likely to happen. Okay? And then let's just talk about potential trade setups that happened already. So you guys know, one of the potential trade setups that I use is the opening range breakout. So using the opening range breakout of the first hourly candle is a way that we can take a trade. So here is the first hourly candle. It's closes as a hammer bar. All we need to do, guys, is go long above that high, and that is already more than 10 points. Okay, so let's just say you took this guy for 10 points, took it up here somewhere. Okay, that's $500 on one contract. Okay. So if you do 2 contracts, 1,000, 3 contracts, 1,500, so on and so forth. So the opening range breakout is one of my setups. So we have the hammer, we take the opening range breakout, we lock in 10 points there, we make our $500, we're good. Right? You could just take trades on Sunday and just be done for the week if you wanted to. All right? You could actually just do that. So opening range breakout, there's no inside bar patterns right now. There's no fibs right now. There was just the opening range breakout. So we're just going to be patient and see what the next setup is. Okay. But that's an easy way in order to make, to trade the Sunday open. Just take the opening range breakout. All right. That's definitely a plausible strategy. All right. So let's just quickly look at the Qs. See what's going on in there. So the Qs also had a weekly inside bar close, right? So we're going to do this. Let me just pull this thing down like that. And let me just pull this one up here. And then let's just go to the hourly chart. I'm not going to do this one exactly because I just want to get a quick glance. So same thing over here, another hammer close. You could see the Qs are actually weaker than the S&P, because the S&P is closer to the top of the range and the Qs are actually closer to the middle of the range. So as the theme for the last few months has been, the S&P 500 has been moving stronger than the Qs. But at any point, if the Qs can turn around and actually start putting in strong pressure, the market can definitely explode. Definitely. But this is one of the reasons why it's been a lot of choppy and back and forth action, because the Qs have actually been just kind of consolidating or actually bringing the ES down. Okay, the S&P 500 down. All right. So we talked about futures. We're going to get into any questions that you guys have. I know some people posted questions and chart requests, so we're going to go through those now, and then I'm going to share with you guys my trading list, what I'm looking at, and we're just going to do whatever you guys want to do. All right. So personally here, guys, this blue list, these are all of the tickers that I'm looking to swing trade this week. Most of them are so all of them are actually inside bar closes, and I'm looking to take these either bullish or bearish. These are all on the weekly chart, okay? And then if we go to the green list here, I also posted this recently. This is the 2-week chart for consolidation. So for example, if let's look at Roku, I just want to show you guys here quickly. So here's an example, right? So Roku is consolidating for 2 weeks straight within the range from the 26th of April. So this is a nice setup that I'm looking for a breakout right there. Estee Lauder, same thing, looking for a breakout. Pfizer, I like this one actually as a potential short, because this wick is a lot of selling pressure here. Another 2-week inside bar. IBM, same thing here, 2-week inside bar. eBay, this one's looking to break through to all-time highs. All right. So though that's my list, guys. The green list I share with you guys for free. These are my 2-week scanners, and then the blue list, these are in my private swing room. Okay. Do you always use 60-minute candle for Sunday orb? So good question from Margot. Let's pull that up. Margot, do you always use 60-minute candles for Sunday orb? Yes, I do 60-minute candles for Sunday orb, because normally if it's not a big gap up or gap down, you want to wait a good hour for the futures market to settle, because sometimes the volume is light. If instead we gap up, like if we gap above the range or below the range, then I could go down to a 15-minute or a 5-minute chart. Francisco, what do you think of the gap in time frame daily of WFC? Let's see that. WFC gap on the daily. So this gap is not really a big gap. It's a small gap down, right? But you can already see that the bulls are trying to hold this level of support, which is lining up with the 20 EMA. So I don't think it's a change in trend yet. What would be a change in trend is if we push back up and then we kind of break through this low, then that could be potentially a change in trend. All right. So let's go to Twitter. Let's see the request that we have here from our friends. Let's go. Let's go here. Bam, bam, bam. All right. Where did I post it? I think I posted it yesterday. Yes, here we go. All right. Okay. So we're going to start from the top. We're going to answer all the questions. We're going to look at the charts, and we're going to just help each other out. Guys, I do this because I want to help. I think we're stronger as a community than being separate. So everyone here has great ideas to share. Let's help each other out. Let's beat the market. Let's beat the market together. Okay. Trading is not something that needs to be done by yourself. For years and years and years, I've worked with a team. I've worked with a mentor, right? And now I want to be a mentor because now I have the experience to do it. So just let's help each other to make money. That's what the goal is. Make money. Without money, you can't be the best version of yourself. Just plain facts in this day and age. You need money in order to help other people, to give, in order to have the things you need in your life. So this is one of the ways we can achieve it through trading. So that's why we need to help each other and we need to take it seriously. Okay. So Yorda says SPY options long and short consistent profit. So his question is, when you're doing SPY options long and short, how do you be consistent? How do you make profit? So go to SPY. Okay. So On the 5-minute chart for SPY, guys, I have different strategies for every single day. If we gap down, I have a strategy. If we gap up, I have a strategy. If we open inside, I have a strategy. The key when you're playing SPY options is if you're doing a momentum trade. So let me give you an example, okay? So let's look at this trade right here. So the 20th of May of 1010. So this is a bullish signal for me right here, okay? We have a gap up. We have an inside bar at the top of the range with a bearish bar before, but what I'm seeing here is that the bulls are in control. This is the last chance for the bears to make a push. So right here, okay, so this is my signal right here. Go long right here. It's pulling back. It's consolidating. If we look at this, it's actually a flag. So we do like this. It's actually a very small flag. So what I'm doing right there is I'm saying, okay, this is a setup, and then I want to buy calls. So if I'm going to buy calls or futures or shares, what I do with SPY is I will get the nearest expiry. Okay, because I want to make with the setup, it needs to work right away. If it doesn't work, then it's not going to work, right? So with these momentum plays, we need it to work right away. So we want the closest expiry, and then it's just a battle of managing your risk with the options. So this is the process that I have in my head when I'm dealing with options. Whatever I take, I'm going to lose between 50 to 100% if I'm wrong. Okay, so I need to at least make close to 50% when I'm locking in profits or I'm playing a losing game. Okay, so when I take the calls here, right here, with the inside bar, I need to get at least 50% return. Otherwise, I'm playing with inverted risk and I'm going to lose money. So right here, guys, this push right here, easily double, triple, depending on how your closeness and expiry, your strike, all of those fun stuff. All right. So my advice, if you're playing options on SPY, is you want to find the price action pattern, identify, is it a momentum strategy? Is it a consolidating strategy? And then if it's momentum, get short-term, close expiry, go for the home run, and just manage your risk. And just be aware that whatever you put in that option play, you have the potential to lose between 50% all the way down to 100%. So what you need to do to combat that is you need to get paid when you're right. Okay, so like you guys saw last week, I gave some option plays for free. Those plays went for double to triple. That's what we want. We want to get double to triple our money. All right. So I hope that explains what I look for. And consistent profit is just about risk managing. That's what it is. It doesn't matter if it's options or whatever. It's just risk management. Okay. So Ricardo, my good friend here, BA, Walmart, Baba, O are on my personal watch list. Let's take a look. So guys, what I like to do when I'm looking at stocks is I want to start from the weekly chart because I want to see the bigger picture. Okay. That's what I like to do. So here we go. Boeing, a very, very beautiful inside week close right here on Boeing. This is, I mean, it doesn't get better than this. Okay. Because what we have here with Boeing, do you guys see this candle here on the 8th of March? We had a huge amount of buyers step in, push this thing up from 222.50 all the way up to 278.50. Okay. And what happened here is we rolled over from there. We broke through the low and now we're putting in an inside bar. So what this looks like to me is actually the market makers stop running. They knew that a lot of bulls here had their stop here. They ran their stops down and you see, look, as soon as they stopped out, they bought them immediately. Okay. So how I would play Boeing here is just taking the break above or the break below this inside bar and playing it. Because if we do break back below, there's going to be a lot of trap bulls. But if we do break above, then this is the perfect double bottom pattern with the 20 EMA acting as support. All right. Really, really beautiful stuff. So Harvey, I'm going to get to your question in 1 second. Let me finish Ricardo here. So we have Boeing, we have Walmart, right? Walmart. So with Walmart, I see Fibs here right off the bat. I don't see any inside bar plays right now, but so we had this first leg on Walmart. So, okay, so we go here, high. Oops, this is not the Fib tool. Okay. So we go here, Fibonacci retracement. We go right here, high to low right here. This is the first leg. Okay. Now watch closely. We had high to low, pull back to the 618. Trade to the 272 extension. Do you guys see this? Let me draw the arrows, okay? Okay. High to low, pull back to the 618, trade to the 272 extension perfectly, okay? and then we had a big pop. Okay, so now what we want to do there is, okay, that leg is traded. That's good. Now we delete this fib. Now we have to take this anchor point up here as the fib, the high for the next fib. So we go here, high, low. Okay, and then we can see here we traded to the 786, and this one actually blew through all the targets and went to a measured move. So you see here, this is a measured move. So it's basically replicating the distance from here to here. So if I just bring that down like that, that's what we call a measured move. Okay, so we had the measured move reversal. And now what we want to do now is we want to draw the next leg. So we're gonna take Fibonacci from here, from this high down to this low. And you can see that we have been rejecting right around the 786. We've been rejecting because this is the next leg in the sequence Fibonacci. So personally right here, this candle is very important. If we start to break below this candle, we can start pushing back down for Walmart. But if we can break above, that would be very, very bullish. So right above 144.40 would be very, very bullish sign, and would probably go back and retest this 147 area. All right. And guys, at any point, if something doesn't make sense, just say it in the chat and I will repeat it and I will dig through it. Okay. Baba. So Baba was on my list also, but I'm choosing not to really. I'm choosing kind of to just wait and see what Baba does because of the fact that with all the news that it's been having, it's a very volatile stock. It's, you know how it is, guys, with Baba. There's always some kind of news around it. But basically, I have this Fibonacci drawn on Baba, and this is what my thought process is. We had this big initial push all the way down to 211. We came back to the 618 zone, and now we traded here, making a double bottom. So right now we have this inside bar right here. So just taking the break above or the break below will be very, very powerful for a Baba trade. If we break above, this will confirm a double bottom pattern. But if we break below, I definitely think we're going to trade to these extensions here. Either this 169 or the 272. We're going to come down here. If things get really bad, we'll push back down to 157. Definitely possible. Right. Okay. So I'm going to take some requests in the chat. So Tesla broke 200-day SMA. How to trade long or short? Looks bargain buy. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Tesla. So yeah, so Tesla is actually trading in this range that we have drawn for a long time. What I'll do here with Tesla is let's look at some Fibonacci analysis here. Let's take it from this big bar here that broke into new all-time highs back in the day. Let's take it from here and let's pull it up here. Boom. So you can see we've been hovering around the 618, just holding this area really. It's just really trying to kill option premiums. If I look at this chart, that's exactly what Tesla is doing, killing option premiums. If you're a long-term buyer in Tesla and you believe in the company and you don't mind sitting in it for a few years, definitely great places to start adding into a position. But you have to be able to dollar cost average if it goes lower. So if you have $1 million, you don't want to put in $1 million right now. You want to put in a portion of that, leave some capital available if it does come lower. So that's how I would do it if you want to take Tesla for a longer term play. NEM, Newmont Corp. So right here, we looked at this stock before, and look at this, my friends, right here. So this is why I love playing inside bars. Look at this. Okay, the inside bar was the start of this big explosion. So if you took this inside bar at the close, you took this bad boy up 33% right there. Okay, so this is why we use the inside bars as ways for us to get into trades. Right now, I'll say with NEM, I don't see any technical like inside bar or fib play. There's a potential here for this being a double top. There was some selling. So if we start pulling back, what needs to happen is this 20 EMA needs to pull in and it needs to catch up for consolidation and then build another base in order to move higher. Okay. If we squeeze through this, then the sky is the limit because this thing can just go vertical. Okay. Right. This thing can go vertical because we have room to get back all the way up to this previous all-time high at 82s. Peloton. So Peloton, we took in the private swing trading room last week. So here was the exact trade we took on Peloton. We had the inside bar close on Peloton. We entered at 97.55. Stop was 87.65. You can see right here that we made it to about halfway to our target. Our target is right here. So we locked in partials and we actually made some money on Peloton already. So I like Peloton and we got in early. We got in with this inside bar down here. So right now with Peloton, even if it turns around on us, we won't lose a lot. But we're positioned to have a great run. And I think Peloton can definitely go higher, because if we look at this run here on Peloton, it was a very vertical run. And a lot of times with vertical runs, we have a big sell-off. And it takes about half of the move, right? So you can see here, we're about halfway through this vertical move. That's usually where buyers will step in. All right. So we have Tan and Uber. Tan and Uber. So Tan, same thing. Nice vertical push. Nice back down to the 50 over here. Let's take the full range from the low to the high like this. You can see here, this is exactly what I said. I just looked at that. I didn't even know that it was exact, but pretty close, right? Here's the 50. You can see we're holding the 50. So this is a good dip buy here. You know your risk. Maybe put your stop below 618 and just see where it goes. Uber. So Uber is sitting on a fib right now. Let's get rid of all this. So let's take the fib from this big bull bar up here. Let's take it up to the high, and we can see that we are holding the 618. Look at this. So here's the first algo buy on the 618. Then we had this push lower and another algo buying it up. So there are algos sitting here that are buying definitely for Uber. But right after the buying, we had some selling, which is a little bit worrisome. So right now, I would just take this range right here, this high and this low. Okay. So anything in this range is chop. Anything above it is a breakout. Anything below it is a breakout. So that's how we would look at it. 808 HSH, just thank you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Really do. I want to grow. I want to grow. Just listen to me. I have so much to give to the world. My legacy is going to be what I give to the world. I have so much to give. I come from very humble beginnings, having nothing in my life, absolutely nothing. I come from being in environments where you could die the next day. You know, I have so much to give. So just, you guys support me every week. Let's grow this thing. I should have 3 million people in here right now, because I'm giving the education that everyone deserves. So please, if you can help me grow, that's all I care. Just show up, be here, ask questions. Let me help you. Okay. So Nathan says QQQQ and IWM. So same analysis, guys, right? Here we have the inside week. So the same thing. Inside week, we're looking, the break above the inside week is bullish. The break below it is bearish. If we break above and then immediately sell off, that's bearish. If we break below and immediately get bought up, that's bullish. So those are the 4 things that you need to watch for inside bars, okay? So just pay attention to that. Anything in the range is just chop. Same thing here, okay, guys? Same exact analysis. Above, bullish, below, bearish. If it breaks up and comes back in, that's very bearish, okay? Very bearish. If we break out, and we come back in, that's a false breakout. It's going to trap people. So anytime there's a false breakout, there's a possibility of a huge sell-off, okay? HYLN. What do we have here? So this is a stock that I will stay away from, just because, like, you could see the size of the candles and then you can see all of this chop. This is not for me. What I would say here is the inside bars do look like they've been putting in a little bit of action. Look here, we have a nice short signal right here. That's a big run down there. Right now, I don't play these names, guys. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't play this because it doesn't really follow technical analysis. There's a lot of manipulation. Anything that has manipulation, I'm out. I don't want to be a part of it. I want to be able to trade things that I can predict to a certain extent, right? Zoom and Baidu. Zoom right here. So yeah, so Zoom, I made money on Zoom a few times. I took that inside bar, bam, I made some money on there. And then I think I took this one over here, I made some money. I didn't take all of them because I started to see the volume dying in Zoom. But I did make some money on these run-ups, and like I cover for 1.5, 2 times my money, and then I put my stop loss to break even, and then I get stopped out on the rest of my position, but I covered, right? I don't bag hold these names when I'm swing trading. There's no point of doing that, right? So let's see what's going on. Right now is just chop city, all this chop, all this bullshit. Let's see if we can get a fib somewhere. It's so hard to look at this chart and to pick a good anchor for a fib, but what I can see here is this was the last major swing low right here. So I'm taking it from here, low to high. You can see that, boom. See, I was right. Look at that. Beautiful 886 tap, bam, I'll go buy. So here's the algo sitting on the 886 waiting. The algo, it already made so much money off of this play. This is how the algo does it. Limit order on the 886 like that. Stop loss right here on the swing low. Algo already made money right here. Look, that's over 1-to-1. So if the algo comes in there, risk $1 million, they made $1 million already. They're done. The algo's done. Good night, right? So what needs to happen here with Zoom is this low needs to hold. If this low breaks, we're very likely to break this low. Okay, so just be aware of that. And the algo is already 3 steps ahead of you. The algo already bought at the 886, covered for 1-for-1, and it's just chilling. All right. Bill says, do you set orders for both sides of the inside bar, or do you lean to one side or the other? In my private swing trading room, Bill, I lean to a specific side based on other things in the chart. So I'll say these are the ones I'm looking for bullish. These are the ones I'm looking for bearish. That's how I separate them. But that being said, I'm not always right. I'm never 100% right. So sometimes you can just bracket it both ways and play it. Okay, so they both work. But I like to play the side where I can find other indicators like Fibs, other things that can support my analysis. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you very much, Bill. Appreciate it. Zoom, Baidu. Yeah, so all of these charts have gotten beat up, right? Like, and honestly, some of them look like great buying opportunities because the risk is small. If you're wrong, you lose a little bit of money, but the upside is huge, right? So that's what I always think of risk to reward. So let's take it from this swing low down here, the Fibonacci, up to this high right here. Boom, you could see that double bottom on the 786. 786 has been holding, bam, bam. So we really need to get above 198 right here to continue the bullish run. If we break through the 786, then look for the 886 to be the next level of support. All right. CRSP. What is this? Okay, so I already have the fib drawn. We've looked at this before. We tagged the 886 pop. We tagged it again, pop. Algo's here, hanging out, chilling. So this needs to hold here. Otherwise, we definitely can break 84.16 and possibly go lower. But the algo is putting in some buys here, and we can definitely see that. What else do we have? Net. So net is working on a basing pattern right now. So let's just take this like this, right? We can see that. And then we can draw this bad boy like this. Okay, boom. So net is trying to just fill in this pattern like this, fill it in, and then eventually look to break either to the upside or to the downside. So right now it's gonna be choppy, consolidating, blah, blah, blah. Look for it to get tighter and then for an explosion. All right. LRCX. So this guy has been on a big run. And look, we had an inside bar a few weeks ago. This one worked, just taking the break to the downside. That's a good short. That's easily 1.5 times your money. That's good money right there. That pay the bills. Look at this one right here. Boom, take this bad boy up. Bam, that's money. Look at this one. Bam. Look at this one. Bam. It's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That's why I keep it simple. I'm looking for inside bars. I'm looking for fibs. That's it. What I can see right now here is we draw the fib from this low to this high. Okay, boom. Right there, 618 is in play. Absolutely beautiful. If I was taking this trade, I would have had a limit order on the 618 right there. I would have already been in this trade. I've already made my money. Okay, that's how you trade as a professional. So in my book, I talk about this: impulsive legs, limit orders. You come in, you be with the fib, be one with the fib, be one with the algorithm. Buy, lock in your money, stop loss at break even after that. Right? So this is definitely a nice leg here. If the bulls can continue to push through, we will break through all-time highs. So if they can turn the corner 633 right here, we can definitely break into all-time high territory, especially since this thing has been on a rampage. I wish I traded this name. Look at this here. Look at these inside bars here back in the day, showing you it's ready to go, guys. Look at this. Okay? Look at this right here. Beautiful. Very, very good chart. Thank you very much for sharing. Who's this one? L Hood. I hope you're watching. Thank you very much. Bitcoin BA. Okay, so let me do this in rapid fire, and then we're gonna go back to the chart. Go back to the chat. Okay. So we got Bitcoin, BTC. So okay. So the last analysis that I did on Bitcoin was here, guys. So I said above 57,535 is bullish. So we broke above, right? We broke above. You could have made a little bit of money. But as soon as we came back and we broke this low, say 47,440, once we broke this low, bam, we had that big sell-off. So this is what I mean by inside bar, break above, pull back in, look out below. Beautiful trade. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. So that's why I had this inside bar. I had these levels drawn. Once this one broke, look out below. Beautiful. Right now for Bitcoin, it's sitting on some fibs. It's hard to tell where the fibs are starting from. Let's take it from this gap though, high to low. Okay, and that's pretty accurate right there. 886, bam. Guys, love the 886. Trust the 886. Look at that. You just come in here, 886, put your stop right here. Bam, you already made good money on that. So beautiful. So the bulls need to hold this level, 3,500. This needs to hold. Otherwise, we break this pivot. We fill this gap easily. Very easily. If they can hold this, we can start coming all the way back. I won't be surprised if we come back and retest all these levels here because Bitcoin was on a big run. All right. And there will be algorithms sitting there waiting for the next opportunity. Okay. So we already looked at Tesla. BA, we looked at that, right? Yes, we did. We looked at that. Run. Okay. Run. All right. Run is, I have the fib drawn from the lowest anchor point here. And you can see we're just hugging the 618 right now. And definitely the bulls just need to continue to push up above the 50s right here to continue to make this pattern work. If we break below here, we have the 786 support, 2750 right around there. All right. So what else do we have now? PLTR. Okay. PLTR. Yep. So again, this guy has been really trapping a lot of people here. This is why I always spread my name. I always spread my money across multiple names. Right now, I have maybe 25, 30 swing trades on with different things that I'm doing and different stuff that I'm trading. So you need to spread it out because if PLTR doesn't work, maybe Morgan Stanley will work, right? Don't put everything into one stock because that one stock doesn't have to follow technical analysis if it doesn't want to. Right. And especially these ones that everybody talks about, PLTR, everybody talks about, those are the ones that will crush you because there are people just trying to sell you false information in order for them to make money. And that's the sad truth about the market. So right now, I just see a bunch of chop going sideways for a while, just screwing people over with options, really. So nothing really to do until we can break back above the 2040, 2450s. We need to reclaim these levels here in order for a nice run. If we break below, look out below. We can even come back and retest this $8 point. It's definitely possible. Rocket, JDX. Rocket. Yeah, so nice. The only thing that interests me in this chart with Rocket right here is this nice inside bar. Absolutely beautiful. It's just waiting there to be played. Take the break above, take the break below. Let us look at this next week. So everyone, I want when you guys come back next week, we need to watch this chart. This thing can go because there's no support below and it moves a lot. So with that inside week, that's telling me it's ready to make a move. All right, so we're going to be watching that one closely. GDX. Yeah, so gold, like we said, we had the initial push, this low to high, right? And so back when gold was sitting right here on the 50, we said, okay, it's on the 50% retracement. If it can come back and break above here, we can get a good push. And that's exactly what it did. It broke above. We had a great push now. So the only thing we have to be worried about now for the bulls is the short leg. So we go high to low. And we can already see we had that beautiful rejection at the 618. So there are shorts that are here. This area, I expect there to be a battle for some time before actually deciding on what's next. All right. Good. So that's good here. Bill. We have Pell BHBN from Austin, Texas. Awesome. Harvey says NVIDIA. Okay, let's look at that. NVDA. So the one thing that I was watching with the NVIDIA is we had the double inside bar pattern, which is very rare. We don't really see that. And then just taking the break below the double inside bar pattern, a lot of people took puts right there. Bam, that was beautiful money. And then whenever you're taking puts on something that's bullish, you have to cover. So you have to cover right here on the fibs, the 50 to, you want to be able to cover right around the 50 and the 618. And as you can see here, the bulls are back in the game here and they've really bought up this 50 and 618 zone. And that's why the fibs are so powerful because the limit orders are waiting for for it to come and touch it, right? So this is a very bullish bar right here. As long as this low can hold, I really think NVIDIA can retest all-time highs. Pratam says, as we have inside week on index, how would you play it? So I talked about that earlier, just basically looking for the break of the inside week and looking to see if there's follow through. If there's no follow through, if we break the high or low of the inside week and then we come back into the range, that'll be a very, very reversal sign. That'll mean there'll be trap bulls or trap bears. So just pay attention to how it breaks to determine how you want to play it. CRWD. Okay, so this one is definitely sitting on a fib. Okay, so let's take the micro fib from this low to this high right here. Okay, we can see here, beautiful 786. Okay, like this is what you got to do. When you're taking these plays, you can wait for this candle right here to confirm that the Fibonacci is holding. All you have to do, guys, is just take it on the close right there. That's easy 10% of right there, 10% return. This candle closes, you can see the Fibonacci is holding. You just buy on the close. You have a stop loss down here. Boom. Risk 5% to make 10%. Very, very beautiful. Or you can come in with a limit order right here on the 786, take this bad boy up 15%. So all of these concepts I talk about in my book, I really think that this is a nice higher low pattern. See higher low here. And I think we will definitely try to retest this previous high up here. And then if we get through there, we can come back and retest all-time highs. Awesome. All right. So we've been going for 46 minutes. It always goes by so fast. I don't know how the time flies like that. I wish it flew like that when I wanted it to, but we covered a lot. We talked about the inside weeks that are on all the index, how to trade them. Be careful of the high and low of the range. If we break above, if we break below, watch to see if we actually follow through or do we pull back into the range. That is going to be the key. Okay. What else? So that's pretty much it that I have here. Do you guys have any questions with anything else? Let me know in the chat if you have any questions or any other requests about anything. And then we can go on there. Double bottom on CRWD. Yeah. So right here, this definitely right here, nice double bottom pattern right here, double bottom right there. Beautiful, actually. So that looks pretty good right there. So that was a good pick right there, CRWD. Yeah. So anyone, any questions? Anything to add? Anything? You have any concerns? Are you losing money, making money? What's going on? Let me know. But if not, if I don't see anything in the chat, I will be calling it here. There's going to be a big week this week, guys. I really don't think that the market is going to close with 2 inside weeks in a row. I don't think we're going to have a double inside week. I really don't think we will, but it's possible. So just be aware that we could have another inside week. If we have another inside week, then things are really going to explode. But I definitely think that right now the market is poised to make a move, either bearish or bullish. We don't know, but we just have to play the levels. All right. So Harvey says right here, microfiber or swing fib. Microfiber, what is that? Microfiber or swing fib for SPX. So let me just see here. I mean, so if you just want to look at SPX, what I would do here is take this low, bring it up to this high, and these are the levels that I would be looking for right here. So we have the 50%, which lines up with this previous low. We have the 382 right here, close to 20 EMA, and the 618 actually lines up with this gap fill. So those are levels that I'll be watching if we start to pull back. Okay, micro fib. Is this the one? Or do you want me to, or are you want me to do the micro fib for the chart? Whenever I'm looking at S&P 500, I actually like to draw it from the futures. Okay. So if you're talking about the futures, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go to the left. We're going to look to the last swing low, which is here. And we're going to draw the fib from this anchor point up to this high. And you can already see here, we tagged the 382 and then we popped. So there are algorithms that are hanging out looking for the next push into all-time highs. And they already started loading up here. They already made some good money. So if we turn around and start coming back below here, then we have all these areas of support, 41.34, 41.22, which is a 618. All right, guys. All right, so that's it for me. I'm at the Hard Rock Hotel hanging out, chilling with my wife. We're going to go to the cafe, Hard Rock Cafe right now. and get something to eat, because I've been just doing these videos and I've been training some people before. So thanks again for being here, and I appreciate you guys, and let's try to make some money this week. Let's try to help each other out. All right. So have a great night, and I will see you next week.